Herbie Hancock, and I Thought It Was You, and I'm sat with Ken Dodd, whose hair is stood on end at the moment. Does have that effect on you, doesn't it?
How tickled I am, yes.
Let's come back to the bass guitar for just a moment, if we can.
If you must.
Well, I'd like to. What would you recommend to the young aspiring bass player? How do you start? Do you save money and buy something fairly simple to start with?
No, if you can spend as much as you can on your instrument, it's much better to do it, because you'll sound better. It'll be a lot easier to play, and it's very hard to get your fingers going when you first start, because you think it all feels very alien. And if anyone who's ever forgotten what it feels like, who can play now, has forgotten what it's like to start, if you turn the bass upside down or the guitar upside down and use your right arm on the neck, that's how it feels when you're starting again. It's very, very strange. So buy a good instrument, because if it all goes wrong and you never do play, you can always get more money for it when you sell it, you see. Whereas a cheaper instrument will depreciate a lot faster and won't be worth anything.
Here comes a real Dumbo question, but people will want me to ask this, because this is radio and not television, thank goodness. Why have you got some gaffer tape wrapped round your thumb, Mr. King?
Well, this was done it was out of necessity, really. I began doing it when the band started playing, because when I used to play with my thumb at a show, and I used to play very hard, my thumb would split. And
literally split?
Yes, well, yeah, the skin split, and it it hurt like hell, and it wouldn't heal up, and we'd have to sort of cancel some shows. So I just put gaffer tape around it, and it does the trick. It also adds a kind of a percussive hardness to the sound. You can hear it sort of, whereas if I
You're not plucking that string, are you? You're actually hitting it?
Yeah, that's right, I'm just slapping it there. This is the slap with the thumb, this is a pull with the finger, and it's really between the two hands. If that's my right hand that was doing that, my left hand is hammering on occasionally, right there, and it's also, more importantly, I think, it's stopping the notes at the right time. So if I go play, stop, but without actually hitting a note, so I can go play, stop. So like that, see? 3, 4, 1.
Well, of course, all those of you at home are able to do that already, so we'll now move to lesson 2. That's ludicrous.
Here's one I made earlier.
Ludicrous. Yes, here's one on Downshep as well. We'll get them all in while we're going. Fantastic instrument. You were saying that's made out of graphite earlier on. The actual
this one is
body of it.
Yes, it's a very hard thing, and it's sort of supposed to be very space-age technology. They use it in making aeroplanes and stuff, but it goes to make a very good bass guitar. Like I say, that wood is still, I think, my personal favourite. But I haven't got one here.
The Sleepwalkers we're going to play next.
Right, yeah, Sleepwalkers. This is the last track on side 2. And it's a very strange tune, because it came about by just a sequence that I got together at home. I have like a little 8-track studio, and I had all these harps going. I don't know what I was thinking about at the time, but I had these masses of harps playing through, and log drum basses. And Phil Gould was very taken with it and said that he'd like to go away and write some lyrics, which he did. And this was one of the few times that we didn't actually have a melody that Phil or Boone would write lyrics to. What we did was we just sort of threw the whole thing together. I'm not a great fan of doing that, to be honest, because I'd much rather know and not waste time by going into the studio. Be prepared, know what you're going to do and go in and do it. But this one, it sort of worked itself out very nicely in the studio.
I wear my Ray-Ban